What an interesting U-turn. Fascinating. Facebook allows war posts urging violence against Russian invaders. This is curious. As far as I was aware, right, and this is what I've been led to believe by the government, by social media companies, by lots and lots of different places, that incitement to violence, no matter the target, was wrong. However, the message is now being sent that, oh, it's actually okay in certain circumstances. You know, the circumstances that Silicon Valley approve of. March 10th, Reuters, Meta platforms, fucking Meta, I forgot they keep changing their name, will allow Facebook and Instagram users in some countries to call for violence against Russians and Russian soldiers in the context of the Ukraine invasion, according to internal emails seen by Reuters on Thursday, in a temporary change to its hate speech policy. The social media company is also temporarily allowing some posts that call for death to Russian President Vladimir Putin or Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko, according to internal emails to its content moderators. As a result of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, we have temporarily made allowances for forms of political expression that would normally violate our rules, like violent speech such as death to the Russian invaders. We still won't allow credible calls for violence against Russian civilians, a Meta spokesperson said in a statement. Welcome to war, gentlemen. Remember how I've said very many times you're going to get lots and lots of propaganda. Like there's like some of the things. This is the topsy turvy stuff that's happened now. Now, for the longest time, we were told hate speech and calls for violence and anything like that were wrong and they were bad and they should be completely censored and have you all banned off of social media. Okay, and that was the way that we were told for a very, very long time. Incitement to violence, no matter the circumstance, was always bad, no matter who was the target. Now, there's a war kicking off, and the propaganda machine, they blew the dust off it, and they're whirring that bad boy back up. They're pouring the diesel in. Yeah, let's get it going, boys. Right. So now it's a case of, well, actually, it's fine. It's actually fine to call for violence against what could definitely at some point soon be enemies of the state. It's actually okay. Oh yeah, you can totally kill Putin. Yeah, you can totally call for the deaths of Russian soldiers and all that type of stuff. Now, for me personally, I think all of it should be allowed. Right, everyone knows my stance on freedom of speech, but I'm just saying it's interesting how something we were told for years was really really bad suddenly changes when there's a war. I'm just saying. Another thing as well is remember how for the longest time we were all told, oh, it's nationalism, you filthy right wingers, you filthy. Imagine being proud of your country. Britain's racist, Scotland's racist, America's racist, everything's racist. How could you love these fucking countries? Now, now that World War III could maybe possibly be on the horizon, oh, what about your country? Where my fellow patriots at? And everyone's like, hold on a fucking minute. You've done nothing but fucking attack us for like the last 7 years. For like the last 7 years, you told us that we were like useless, racist pieces of shit, filthy right wingers and everything. But now, where's your pride in your country? For 7 years, you told me I wasn't allowed to have any. Right? What's changed? Oh yeah, that's right. We're at war. Suddenly, none of this shit matters anymore. Citing the Reuters story, Russia's embassy in the United States demanded that Washington stop the extremist activities of Meta. Users of Facebook and Instagram did not give the owners of these platforms the right to determine the criteria of truth and pit nations against each other. Yeah. It's true. We did not. No one voted these companies in to be the arbiters of truth. However, they are essentially an extension of the government who gets to be the arbiter of truth because the government is a monopolistic holder of all conflicts, even those involving itself. So it can always rule in its own favour. The embassy said on Twitter in a message that was also shared by their India office. The temporary policy change is on calls for violence to Russian soldiers apply to Armenia, Azerbaijan, Estonia, Georgia, Hungary, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Romania, Russia, Slovakia, and Ukraine. So basically all the Slav states. Although Azerbaijan's a little bit Slav, I'll give you that one. In the email recently sent to moderators, Meta highlighted a change in its hate speech policy pertaining both to Russian soldiers and to Russians in the context of the invasion. We are issuing a spirit of the policy the spirit of the policy allowance to allow tier one, the highest tier. I've got some of that high grade violent speech. Tier 1 violent speech, mate. My epic violent speech, my legendary violent speech, that would otherwise be removed under the hate speech policy when A, targeting Russian soldiers, except prisoners of war. It's like, even Facebook's trying to abide by the Geneva Convention. Or targeting Russians where it's clear that the context is the Russian invasion of Ukraine, e.g., content mentions the invasion, self-defense, etc. It's said in the email. We are doing this because we have observed that in this specific context, Russian soldiers is being used as a proxy for the Russian military. The hate speech policy continues to prohibit attacks on Russians, the email said. Last week, Russia said it was banning Facebook in the country in response to what it said were restrictions of access to Russian media on the platform. Moscow has cracked down on tech companies, including Twitter, which said it is restricted in the country during its invasion of Ukraine, which it calls a special operation. That's not, it's a full-on invasion. Many major social media platforms have announced new content restrictions around the conflict, including blocking Russian state media RT and Sputnik in the European Union, and have demonstrated carve-outs in some of their policies during the war. Emails also show that Meta would allow praise of the right-wing Azov battalion. Oh, hold on. The right-wing Azov battalion. Which is normally prohibited, in a change first reported by The Intercept. Now, that is a big change. Now, right-wing Azov battalion. Like, I don't know how much any of you know about the Azov battalion. They're a little bit more than right-wing. That's just that. Ooh, they're just a little bit more than right-wing. These are guys that have got like the black sun on their uniform. They've got a couple of lightning bolts on the sleeve and stuff like that. Now, and basically for a place like Reuters is usually like kind of fair, right? For them to just call them right wing. So see how whenever like media writes about like me or Sargon or anybody else, or a far right political commentator, far right comedian, blah blah blah. But here Azov just got called right wing, and that's the Azov battalion. Right, it's I'll just look. See how for the longest time everyone was like, oh yeah, these guys are like fascists, they're like Nazis, and then we always go, but are they though? But are they? And everyone, because of the sheer amount that those words have just been absolutely ruined, over the past few years. Well, more than a few, about 7 years now, those words have been ruined. The Azov battalion, yeah, they are. They are. Just look up pictures of the Azov battalion and make up your own mind. The Meta, but the fact is, you're allowed to praise them. You're allowed to praise them now on Facebook. Those good old brave boys in the Azov battalion. Here are a few words from them. 14 to be exact. The Meta spokesperson previously said the company was, for the time being, making a narrow exception for praise of the Azov regiment strictly in the context of defending Ukraine or in their role as part of the Ukraine National Guard. So, all right, okay then. So you're allowed to praise them because they're doing good against the Russian invasive forces. Did Meta just make but the trains were always on time? And okay, right, you can praise Hitler because the trains were always the trains were actually on time. Just don't ask about the destination. Reporting by Munsif Vengatil in New Delhi and Elizabeth Cole from New York. That's just some bullshit at the end of the article. Okay, so it's really, really strange. I'm just saying it's really strange that Facebook has decided to make this change right now. In any other circumstance, would Facebook or any other social media company have allowed such a... No, they absolutely fucking would not have. No, they would not have. Under no circumstance whatsoever would you be able to call for the deaths of people or praise the Azov battalion. In fact, see if the Azov battalion themselves made Facebook groups or made a Twitter account or anything like that, a year ago, oh, gone, deleted, bye bye. They would have been off there, even if they never posted anything spicy. They would have been completely, utterly removed just because of who they are, right? But there seems to have been a great, massive shift, and it seems to be because war could be about to happen. Or, well, war is happening, but we may possibly be about to get dragged into it. Isn't that interesting? Isn't it interesting how things change whenever states start to get a little bit skittish? I'm just saying, it's interesting.